suggested that we meet under a disused jetty by the river.
Disused Yeti?
Hi, welcome to Disused Yeti. I'm Risa Romano.
I'm Ken. You're not getting the last name.
Cider. It's Ken Cider.
And that's
I expected a witty thing. I'm sorry. I expected a witty thing. I'm Warren J. Cox from Galaxy of Comics.
Who are you
And
talking
we're
to? There's
actually
no witty.
We're just in a different room.
The store bought a giant collection, and our little back room is...
Yeah, so there's stuff you can come to the store.
Yes, this is true. You should come to the store and buy things, yes. And we bought so much that, like, there's a lot of new stuff. You should definitely come and take a look. Yeah.
Okay. So now that we've plugged, which we should probably do, to be honest. We never do.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that.
There's always that thing behind us.
And we still managed to kind of put it up. So. And we're supposed to be talking about Doctor Who. So, last podcast, or
how long ago was it?
Last two podcasts, really, we were talking about favorite stories from the new series of Doctor Who, and now we're going to be doing the classic series of Doctor Who. And since we're going backwards, it seems to make sense to keep going backwards. So I guess we'll start with 7 and work our way back to 1. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and start, because we always go the other way. So my McCoy episode was the Happiness Patrol.
Which one's the Happiness Patrol?
Which is the one where I think they're on Earth, but it's like a dystopian future, and everyone has to be happy. And if you're not happy, you get arrested.
Okay.
I remember that.
And it's a little bizarre, but I feel like a lot of the
Bazaar's
stuff from that time kind of all sort of was in that vein.
Well, Bazaar was kind of Seven's thing, too.
It felt kind of like film noir. It felt very cyberpunk, but without the technology. Okay. And I know that the Candyman's in it, and that kind of gets a rap for being ridiculous. But it's Doctor Who. It's okay to be a little bit ridiculous. So,
that's true.
I like that one.
That's true.
Go. I wrote it down.
I did too.
I put Remembrance of the Daleks, because that's the one where Ace kills a Dalek with a baseball bat. Did you pick the same one?
That's mine too. We should have talked about this.
When we did the last one, I asked, "Do you want to go over the list?" And you're like, "No, because then you'll steal mine."
Yeah, that's true.
And
well, you just stole mine.
That were this last time. It's fine.
There's probably going to be a lot of
keep going, thief. Keep going, thief.
That's maybe it. This is the one where Ace kills a Dalek with a baseball bat.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. I think that's the one that also has the butler from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I got excited when I saw him.
Does it?
Really?
I don't remember.
It might be a different one. I think it's that episode. I could be wrong. I was trying to find it, but like they've taken everything off everywhere.
Yeah.
So like all I have,
which I don't have.
Yeah, I considered doing the 7-day trial just for this.
Just for that.
But yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a fun. I always love Daleks.
It's a very good Dalek episode.
Yeah. Do you know why I liked that one?
Why?
I liked that one because it is a very good Daleks episode. One thing I do remember about this is that there are different kinds of Daleks, which I'm not sure we'd seen before that. There's like Imperial Daleks, and there's like, all I remember is that there were other kinds of Daleks. It was like, oh, cool. So there's like white ones, and there's other,
the orange one.
Yeah,
I like the orange.
Yeah, so
we have tried different colors a few times to varying degrees of success.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So 6?
Yeah.
So 6.
I'm going to get yelled at for my choice.
I might too. I might too.
No, we got to go in order.
Yeah, we got to go in order. It's the rules.
I feel like everyone's like really on edge now about being judged by everyone else. It's only the 2 of us. I went with the Ultimate Foe, which is the last ever serial that he did. It's only 2 episodes
his last one?
So it's because this is his last one.
It finally goes away.
It's mercifully short. But also just because it's kind of interesting. They go into like the Matrix or whatever finally after the trial or during the trial, at the end of the trial, and he's fighting both the Valeyard and kind of the Master, but the Master is also sort of working with him.
I remember that.
And everything's not real, so they have to like figure out ways to get through,
I remember
like,
that.
all these
That's
tests
right.
And stuff. So it was interesting.
Okay. Go.
I cheated. I'm doing the 5-ish Doctors reboot. because he's so goddamn funny, and I love him in that.
Okay.
That scene where he's like making them watch his old episode. He's like, and here you can see me do this, and aren't I great? And it's like, no, you're terrible, but you're great right now.
That is sort of a cheat, but I will, yeah.
But it's
okay.
Like,
it's
if they
such
did a
good
show
writing,
yeah.
with him doing the Doctor like that,
Yeah.
I
That's
would
a good point.
fucking watch it every
No,
week.
it's a good
Yeah.
point. Mine is sort of like his, only
Yeah.
different because it's not a cheater. It's the two doctors.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
Oh,
him and
interesting.
Trouton,
it's
right?
Trim and Trouton, and
But Trout is
and
not really
as much-
Trout in it. Like, he gets mind controlled and sees like a bad guy.
yeah, and I don't hate Trouton. Trouton is one of those
I love Trouton.
doctors that I don't love nor hate. But yeah, it's like.
So is at least that there was some other distraction there? It's going to 5.
5.
I went with Black Orchid because it's basically Unicorn and the Wasp, but with 5.
Okay.
It's companions.
Okay.
It's it's like a 1920s party murder mystery.
Oh,
Is Agatha Christie in it?
Agatha Christie's not in it, which is a mark against it. But there's like secret hidden passageways like in the house that they keep like, going into,
Right.
and then they like open a door and like a dead body falls out, and you're like, oh, now it's a murder mystery sort of thing.
That.
And Nissa has like a doppelganger, and they wear the same costume, so like they keep.
I remember that
mixing,
too. Yeah.
So it's kind of
I
fun just
loved
for those
Nissa.
reasons.
I loved Nissa. She was great. What's yours?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't even know the name of it.
I do. Okay, hold on. Let's just say it at the same time. Can we say it at the same time?
Yeah.
All right, on three.
Wait, I don't know the name of it. I'm just gonna.
No.
Oh.
I wrote down exactly what you wrote down. 1, 2, 3.
Adric
dies. And you know what's really
Very
funny?
shocked.
When you Google that, that's exactly what comes up. It's just right there. I was like, yeah, that's right. Earth shock. Oh shit.
Poor Adric, guys.
Oh, that
Fuck
fucking
him.
kid. That fucking kid.
But then, like, that's just like how the episode ends too. Like, the episode doesn't even have anything to do with.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
leading
I'm
up
not-
to that.
Yeah,
just,
but
like,
he's so
at the
annoying
end,
in
it's
it.
let's
Like
just
in the
go
beginning
down.
where he's all like,
Exactly.
I want to leave, and then it's
Yes.
that because I
Oh,
want
he's
to.
a total
Yeah,
jerk
he's
in the
such an
beginning.
Yeah,
ass.
he's such a little shit.
Yeah,
and it's like,
he's such
fuck
an
you.
ass. Yeah.
Like,
And
did they want everybody to hate him? That's what it felt like. They wanted
So
everybody to hate
that
him.
was and that's the thing. It's like you don't go into it knowing that it's going to be your favorite episode, but then that happened. Is it like this is my favorite episode? I don't even remember what just happened, and I just watched it, but that's my favorite episode.
Cause fuck Adric, he's dead. That little shithead is dead.
Like a poor Scraps.
Oh.
Scraps just like I liked Adric. Fuck you all.
You're wrong, Scraps. Adric was bullshit.
He was like from. Wasn't he from
He was
the
from
the
another
negative
dimension or something.
Yeah,
right?
the negative
Yeah.
universe or
Yeah.
something. And it was like, maybe like if he were like the exact opposite, maybe the Adric in our universe would actually be fine. You know what I'm saying? That he's from the negative universe. That means he's just an asshole.
Like parallel
Arg-
universe.
yeah.
Patrick's
yeah,
gonna be okay.
yeah, the
but we
mirror
got the
universe.
negative
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
I hope
exactly.
the one in like the regular universe
should
has like
do
a
that.
beard,
They should
and he's a
do
like
that.
total badass. And
Is
he's cool and
the actor
likable.
still alive? I know.
Yeah, I
Is
think-
he?
I'm
Is he?
sure.
I wonder if he still
Was
acts
cute?
though. Like so many times, like child actors don't
That's true.
continue.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
do it as a
How
kid.
old was he? He was. I know
He was like,
young.
what?
young.
14, 15?
Yeah, and it was like, oh
he was,
god,
he
I
was
fucking
like
hated that
properly a
kid.
kid.
Yeah.
And he got all of this hate. I do
Yeah.
feel awfully bad for the
Yeah.
actor.
All right, two words. Wesley Crusher. Come on.
Oh.
Come on. And that kid's gone on to do stuff. He's
Yeah,
he's like
Well, he did
popular.
great stuff before that. He was in
he?
Stand By Me.
Yeah, no, he's actually a good actor. Just
I forgot.
his character
Everybody
was so
hated
fucking
him.
shitty.
Right. I almost chose something different. Can I interject
Sure,
this?
yeah.
Caves of Adrazani.
His last one, yeah.
I don't know what it is about that one, but that one I remember very, very well.
That's considered by a lot of people to be his best one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm not alone. That was
It's
my
very
like
dark.
second. Yeah, well, but all I remember is well, actually, I don't even remember that much about it, but I do remember really liking it.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like, okay, do I choose that one? And then
Davison
Adric
was
came up.
very into that one too. He wanted more of his episodes to be like that,
Yeah.
and I think that the writers were all so used to writing for Tom Baker that they were having trouble figuring out what to do with this new character.
Okay, and that was where the regeneration for the next one happened, right?
Case we had
Right. So yeah, I think that's maybe what I remember about it too. It's like, oh God, thank God we're going to get rid of,
I actually
And
didn't
then you
hate
had
5.
And then we got,
Like, 5 was fine. I haven't seen a lot of his episodes, but like,
he's bland.
Yeah, he's a very
into it.
bland
Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah.
So, 4.
So 4. What did I choose for 4? I can never remember the name of this episode. I don't know why. Ribose Operation. It's his first episode with the original Romana. And part of what I like about it is sort of just like the promise of the premise, because it was the Key to Time season where it actually had an arc to it.
Yeah.
And it was like them getting the first piece of the key.
Did that ever really resolve, though? I remember
they
that
got the
being
key.
a very... Because wasn't that like a whole season long?
It was a whole season, yeah.
And I remember it being very confusing. Like the whole arc. Like,
It was
what
just
exactly is
every
happening?
place that they went, they had to get a different piece.
No,
of
and
it.
I get
there-
that.
so
I
of
get
course,
that. But
every place they landed
what
was
was
like a
even the
problem.
point of it? What was the key
They
to
needed to give it to the White Guardian before the Black Guardian got it.
Who the fuck was the White Guardian? And what was the Black Guardian trying to do? And
Evil things.
Evil.
He wanted to end the world or something. It was something like that. So
Okay.
they had to go get the key to time first. Also, and I know you have issues with her, but I really liked.
yeah, I didn't like the
Romana.
original Romana.
I like both the Romanas, and Kenan was there.
All right, 2 years.
Okay. 4 was hard for me. Opposite way for 6, where like I actually
Yeah, me
really
too.
like a
So
lot of
there's a
4.
Me
lot
too.
to
Me
choose
too.
from,
Like
Yeah,
I was
me
gonna
too.
originally, I'm like, oh, Genesis of the Daleks, because like that's the go-to for 4. Everybody knows that one. He has that great speech at the end and
Yeah.
whatever and
Yep.
all that.
True.
But I decided to go for one which was like the earliest one I remember seeing. Like I remember seeing it as a kid, and then that was the one that I saw later when I was like, as an adult, when the new series was being popped. I'm like, all right, let me get back into Doctor Who, and it was just completely different reaction. Like as a kid, the episode scared me.
Oh
it was
no!
really creepy.
No, give me. I don't want. Did we choose the same thing again?
I hope not.
Ah, crap!
Seasons.
God damn it!
I hope not.
Okay, go.
But like as a kid, it was really creepy. As
I'm
an
gonna
adult, I'm
choose
like,
something
oh my
else
god, this is fucking funny.
I'm gonna choose something else then.
Okay, I don't know if it's the same
I
one.
bet you it's the same one.
Ark in Space.
Oh, it's not. Okay,
There we
good.
go.
Okay,
Taking
never
my
mind.
shit.
Never mind.
As a kid, I thought it was super creepy that these aliens are
Yeah.
just like,
Because of the arms.
yeah,
Okay.
super creepy.
Yeah, that
And
makes
the
sense.
aliens were so creepy looking. And then as an adult, I'm like, oh my god, they're people in sleeping bags. This is the funniest fucking thing ever. What was
That's
wrong
true,
with
too.
me as a
That's
kid?
true, too.
Oh my
I've
god.
heard
Yeah,
other
that's
people
true.
talk about how, as children, I didn't see it when I was
Yeah.
a kid, but that episode in particular scared people.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was super creepy when I was a kid, and like my mom watched a lot of it when I was really young. Like she would just, I was in preschool because I was home during the day. Going back, I'm like, oh, I remember this. Yeah, this was the show my mom used to, because I was trying to, I didn't even know what Doctor Who was when they were bringing it back. And I'm
Right.
like, oh wait, this is that show my mom used to watch, and
Oh, that's
I'm like, I
interesting.
remember this one. I'm like, that scared the crap out of me as a kid. I'm a fucking moron. But like, also, I really
No,
like
when you're,
Thor in
like,
it. He's
4
re-
years
yeah,
old, like, it
yeah.
makes
Right,
sense to be scared
right.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the age group that they're trying to scare. So.
Yeah.
So like, I was
Okay.
probably the perfect demographic at the time.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But like, I like him a lot in it. He's real snarky and just real funny in it, and I just
Yeah.
think it's a great episode. So.
Yeah.
My second choice, if you had picked the other one, is City of Death.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love Romana,
Mhm.
and I had read some stuff before I started that season.
So you knew what
And
was
so I
going on.
knew what
Yeah.
was going on, and this is they're in Paris, right?
Yeah.
And it is so obvious. It is just so obvious. If you did not know anything about the two actors or anything about their situation or anything, you would immediately watching this episode still come up with, oh my God, I think they're totally in love. This is what, look at this. Because they're just so cute together and they're so fun. They're obviously having fun. They're obviously having a good time. And it really, because I remember this episode actually kind of being sort of silly and stupid. Like I didn't really like the resolution of it. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
bad. So I really liked that episode. But again, it was almost only because of that. So my other one then, which is really my first one, and it really was, the funny thing is, it's not even the first one that I realized, hey, I really like him in this, because I don't even know how far along it is now that I think about it. But it's got great horror undertones. It's got this very dark horror, the horror of Fang Rock,
I don't think I've seen that one.
the Lighthouse one.
Yeah, I haven't
Right.
seen that one.
Okay.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's nothing very. It's kind of got the same thing for me as City of Death does. In that it doesn't end well. I don't remember it being a good resolution.
Isn't it sort of, well, they just sort of leave at the, isn't it sort of like a monster in the house thing that, like, they know there's something evil that's killing people, but they never find
and
it?
it's a lighthouse, so it's. I think it. Should I see? This is what I mean. I don't even remember. I think it's something from the sea that comes into the lighthouse on occasion, or something like that, or maybe it's I don't remember. But I mean, I really remember. I remember really enjoying it because it had all these sort of horror undertones. There were. That I remember, there were a number of like jumpy moments, like okay, nothing happened. You know what I mean? But it just had a lot of really interesting. I love horror, so it was just one of those things where it just really scratched that itch. You know what I mean?
We have all mentioned different companions in our episodes.
That's interesting too.
Even both of you, because I said the first Romana.
Yeah.
Yours is Sarah Jane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yours was
is
the second Romana, and Lila was in.
And yes, who I liked, but I didn't feel like they.
I liked
Lila.
I don't feel. I was expecting to hate her, and then I was like, no, she's kind of cool.
I feel like they didn't utilize her right.
No, they didn't.
They totally didn't. And I was like, okay.
They didn't get along, right?
Yeah, I remember reading that too.
Yeah,
I remember reading that.
Do we move on to 3? Okay. I went with Inferno, which it's the last episode of his first season, and I was so frustrated with the fact that they wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That this was really exciting to me, because what happens is he's with the TARDIS and he's trying to make it work, and instead of traveling, he slips into a parallel universe. And in it, everyone's evil.
That was a good episode.
It's like everyone in units actually, like, they're like almost like Nazi-ish.
Yeah.
And they're gonna basically destroy the world because they won't.
It was
stop
like
growing.
a mirror universe, wasn't
and
it?
he uses the information that he gets from that parallel universe so that when he goes back, he's able to stop them.
That one was long.
And it's very long. It's a little longer than it needs to be in the first few episodes. Like, nothing's even happened yet. They're just really setting it up.
Yeah.
They took their time. But it's really good. It was kind of like the first time we saw him go somewhere else.
I do remember really liking that episode. Yeah, and it was a clever way of doing it because they could use all the same sets and all the same.
Yeah, and he didn't have to take a companion with him because they were all there when he.
But everybody's different.
Yeah,
which
but
is cool.
everyone's
It's like,
so it was, and like the Brigadier's very much the bad guy in it, actually.
Yeah.
And he's got like an eye patch and no mustache.
I kind of remember that.
No mustache?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's horrible.
Yeah. Evil Brig doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah.
Bastards. 3 was another one that was hard for me because I don't like 3. I'm sorry. I know you love 3. I did more research on 3 than anybody else because I wanted to find something, and I'm just like looking at stuff, and I'm just like none of it. I won't even say like it's bad. It's just none of it really works for me.
You just have a problem with the hair.
I have a problem with the frilly thing, the frilly shirt coming out of the jacket.
I just got a glance at your fucking notes. You are going to say the worst fucking episode he is in. Are you kidding me?
Sea Devils?
Yes!
What's wrong with Sea Devils?
I hate that episode. Those outfits were terrible.
They were so funny, though.
For all of the outfits, for all of the monsters.
They're terrible, but they were so funny because you can see the outline of the face, the person's face, the actor's face in the neck, and I'm like, oh my god, that made me laugh so much. So I'm like, that's the most joy I'm going to get out of it. Also, I will say, I do like the Master.
I was going to say, I remember that being a good Master episode.
The Master's great in it, and I liked the sword fight scene they did in that episode. I actually kind of liked the concept, too. Like, the big alien invasion. You don't really know what they're saying, and...
This is another problem.
I don't know, it worked. That kind of worked for me. I also would like to say, just as, like, an honorary mention, I think it's the 3 Doctors, where 2 and 3 meet, and they just like kind of hate each other, and they're giving each other all this shit. And that is a great fucking moment.
That is a very.
So as I understand it, that was kind of their working relationship too.
Yeah.
They were friends, but they couldn't help like needle at each other, particularly Trout, which is not surprising to me at all.
Yeah.
And he would just torture him.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that also the episode where
They were kind of
Hartnell had been sick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they had to like
film
have him in a whole separate thing. Yeah.
Right. And
Danny the clown.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the explanation
Yeah.
was he's like trapped in the monitor or something. It was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah, because they couldn't actually
But they
get
couldn't
him.
actually get him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Warren hates me for it. It's fine. But you kind of approved of it, so I'll take it.
Was Spearhead from Space, just the first episode.
Spearhead
Just the
from
first
space is partly being Trout.
You're absolutely right.
Because he didn't know.
You're
what
absolutely
to do
right, but
yet
I'll tell
with
you,
his life.
you're absolutely right, and I thought that was odd.
I actually kind
especially,
of like it for that reason.
I remember being weirded out about it later because I didn't recognize it when I recognized that fact
Yeah.
when I watched it the first time through. Because the reason why I really like it was
Yeah.
totally different. It was just totally different. It was like, he was like the first part or two. It was like he was kind of on the run. He was like, he wasn't sure what was going on.
Is this like his first episode?
Because
This is
he
literally-
took his shoes away. He was getting really upset.
Yeah. And it was unique. And plus, there was all kinds of new stuff. Like we'd seen Unit before, but we hadn't really seen
Not
Like-
like this.
like the nuts
I mean,
and
the invasion
bolts of
kinda
it.
gets into it, but this was the first time.
like the nuts and bolts of Unit.
For my second Doctor, I chose the Mind Robber, which is the one where they go outside of reality and everything. They're like in the land of fiction,
Oh,
and they
okay.
keep meeting like Gulliver and
Yeah! I like that one.
Rapunzel.
Yeah, it's like, it's a weird, very kiddish kind of thing, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
But it's fun, and Jamie like loses his face at one point. So they have to,
Oh, yeah, that was
because they had to have a
weird.
different actor because Jamie
Yeah.
had chickenpox.
Yeah.
So
I
like
don't
a
think
different
Warren
actor
likes this
played
one.
him for the second half of one episode and the first half of another episode. It's just like a different person, and then like he loses his face again, and then Zoe's there because the Doctor, despite the fact that Jamie says all of his dialogue this far from the Doctor's face, the Doctor doesn't know what his face looks like. So Zoe has to be with him so that he'll put his face back right.
I just remember just like watching that and just like.
It's very, very, very bizarre, and that's part of the reason I like it. Everyone acts a little bit out of character. Like, Jamie's kind of smart, which is weird, and Zoe's beating up superheroes, which is weird.
See,
And she's, like, screaming, which she never screams. I'm like, what are you doing?
and also remember, I'm not big on weird. I like very logical.
It's all
That's what we do.
books and fiction, and
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to spend some time in the land
I
of
don't remember the
fiction.
superhero part.
Yeah, he's a comic book character, so she knows how to defeat him, and the Doctor doesn't because he hasn't read the comic book.
Oh wait, I
So
do
she has
vaguely
to
remember that.
Use her knowledge of the comic book to beat up on the superhero.
Do vaguely remember that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine's a pretty obvious one. I think it was the one they chose when BBC America was doing like one Doctor a month for the 50th anniversary. I'm pretty sure this is the one they chose. But I really like it. Once again, it's a kind of a creepy one, but it's really funny at the same time. Tomb of the Cybermen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
great
that was a
episode.
go-to for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like,
It was creepy.
it's
You're
so
right.
creepy.
I think it's
Yeah.
kind of considered that way for a reason.
Yeah.
It's sort of like considered to be like one of the ultimate, like especially if you're starting out.
Yeah.
It's good. You've got all
That
the
was the
episodes.
first one I saw of two.
Yeah, it's
The
a good
first,
one.
because like I had been watching Matt Smith, and then people kept comparing Smith to two.
Yeah.
So I got curious. So I'm like, well, I want to
Yeah.
watch something with two.
Yeah.
And Tomb of the Cybermen was the first thing I found. And I watched. I'm like, he's absolutely. Matt
Yeah.
Smith is doing two.
Yeah.
And I love Cybermen. Cybermen.
It's a
are
great
my favorite.
Cyberman episode too. It's
Yeah.
one of the better Cyberman
Yeah.
episodes.
I picked Cyberman too, but just not that one.
Which one did you pick?
Invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also a great episode.
Yeah, and I really liked it. It was a little long, and I remember thinking it
is
was a little
as
long.
8 episodes.
Yeah, I remember it
Yeah.
being longish, but I dug it, and it was partially because as much as I agree with you guys, Tomb of the Cybermen was good, and it just was like.
Yeah, Cybermen.
Cybermen.
Yeah.
And this was the first episode that I felt like Cybermen are actually
They're
really
trucking.
yeah. And that they're really a threat.
Yeah.
And I think partially it's just because there's
They grab Jamie like while he's trying to climb out of the suit. I'm like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this? You're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, so I really liked that. I really
Yeah.
liked that. I thought that was actually really good. That was a really good episode.
William Hartnell.
Yes.
The one left.
Yep.
Now I went with one, and I feel kind of the way about this that you felt about the last one, where it felt kind of like an obvious one to choose. But again, I think it's like it has reasons that it sort of feels like an obvious one. And I went with the Aztecs because it's just really that solid.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
do.
good historical, which historicals are very hit and miss.
Aztecs
they
was actually my
tried.
second choice.
Yeah.
And
it's
they
really
tried
good.
really hard to do that those first couple years, right?
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
remember that it was
Because I
just
think
like
it was supposed to be semi-educational. Like one of
Yeah.
the two of the companions were teachers. One was a science teacher. One was a history teacher. Like, they
teacher.
were very
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
He gets really upset when she tries to change
Stuff. Yeah, I remember
because
that.
it's very much a Barbara episode, and I love Barbara. So for me, she was a great companion. So it was nice to have like an episode that was very much centered around her.
Yeah.
And people are being sacrificed, and the Doctor's like, well, it's not ideal, but it's what they do, and she tries to stop them. And that's the Doctor has that very famous line: "You can't change history, not one line." Which, of course, he has since gone in the complete
Yeah,
opposite
he's like, you can change whatever. Like, there are certain things you can't. But like,
He was young.
And Barbara eventually having to leave, and it's like, I think she was able to save like a couple of people, but she's not going to change it. And ultimately, for history to go on the way that it does, she has to not.
Yeah, I remember
She
that.
has to walk away at a certain point. And there's like some cute stuff in there, like the Doctor accidentally gets engaged to like this really sweet older woman. But I know a lot of people bring it up, but I think it's for good reason. I think there's a lot of good stuff.
No, like that was my second choice.
Yeah.
What was your first?
It's a total cheat, and I'm sorry, but Unearthly Child.
That's
Okay,
not
no,
a
no,
cheat.
no.
It
I
is a
almost
cheat
chose
because it's
that
like
too.
it's the
No, I
first
almost chose that
episode.
too, yeah.
Everybody, but it's like
I almost
it's
chose
Are
really
you talking
good.
specifically about the episode or the serial?
I get
Or the
mostly, mostly the pilot.
Okay.
Like
'Cause
one,
that-
I love the name.
Yeah.
An Unearthly
Yeah,
Child.
that's
That's such a cool name
Yeah,
for
that's
an
true.
episode, and it's like
Plus, you don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
Right.
yeah.
and like you get so much exposition because like
It's true.
nobody, you have to explain everything because at this point
yeah.
nobody ever
Nobody
even
knows.
thought of anything
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And like you get what the TARDIS is, just everything's so great in it.
And I really like Susan. I'm
Yeah,
not
Susan's
so
don't
good.
like Susan, but she's
such
so
a
cool
great
in that
yeah,
episode.
character in
Yeah.
that first episode. I was just
Yeah.
gonna say she's great in it, and I
In
love
that
how she's like
episode,
she
she's
named the TARDIS,
Yeah.
and this is my grandfather, and the whole
Which
thing
makes
is just
me wonder, how old is she actually?
I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
she looks
'Cause she
like
is-
a teenager.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she is going to school.
Yeah.
Maybe like 200 is being teenage.
She's going to school
Yeah.
and correcting her teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Mine is the Daleks.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I just thought, because honestly, I think probably the reason why is because I was in those early episodes, I was still very intently like, oh wow, and then there's these Daleks, and then there's, you know what I mean? It was like I was still very intent, like, oh, and you know, kind of being like introduced because there were two races. I remember this. I don't remember what the other race was, and.
Oh,
You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they wiped out the prior race, but they were still at war, and
Right.
yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't even remember that stuff now, but I remember being very intent on it, like, oh wow,
Oh,
and
you're
this is,
watching.
you know,
And it's got that great scene when there's a Dalek and then like the head pops off and the Doctor comes out. You're like, yes!
exactly. Oh, we're going back. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Come to Galaxy of Comics.
Disused Yeti?